Some things in life are just made for each other. Peanut butter and jelly, macaroni and cheese, Modelo and college football. College football season is Modelo season, and the season has officially kicked off. The Modelo Recruiter is back in action, looking to reward full-time fans who give their all for their team and their school week in and week out. If you're listening to this, you've been recruited. So lace them up and get out there. And don't forget to make time for a well-deserved ice-cold reward, because college football wouldn't be the same without you. So grab yourself a Modelo and enjoy the official beer sponsor of the College Football Playoff, Modelo.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but Mint's premium wireless is $15 a month. But I'd like to offer one other perk. We have no stores. That means no small talk. Crazy weather we're having. No, it's not. It's just weather. It is an introvert's dream. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
All right, everyone. Thank you for coming to Oski's Village here at Memorial Glade for the game day against the Duke Blue Devils. Can I get a Go Bears on 3? Go! I've always wanted to do this. Can I get a Go Bears on 3? 1, 2, 3. Yes, that feels great.
Wait, look at how much power you have.
I know.
Right now.
Can you guys indulge me one more time, please? All right. Can I get a roll on you, Bears? 1, 2, 3. Roll on you, Bears.
You guys are gonna have to do better than that tonight.
Oh, that's okay. All right, that didn't hit as much as the 1, 2, 3 Go Bears. But my name's Rob. I'm one of your co-hosts for today. I'm the co-host of the Golden Bearcast alongside me. Wow, I mean, my voice just really went out there. Yeah, and we got a special co-host with me today is Nam Lay, right here with me.
Rob, this is a completely surreal thing to be doing. So at some point, I'm just gonna black out and pretend I'm talking to you like always. Okay. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah. So we're just going to walk you through some of the game and the game last week, preview the game tonight. We do have a special guest coming up here in about 15 or so minutes. So if you want to stick around for that, please do. But in the meantime, let's start talking about the Boston College game last week.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big takeaway is it doesn't really matter how the results happen. The biggest thing is leaving Boston with a win. Going down 2 touchdowns early, coming back 88 yards, driving all the way to get a game-winning touchdown. The Cal Bears are 4-1. And one of the big things this week that Justin Wilcox emphasized was how important it was to realize that our best ball is still in front of us. And for me, one of the biggest takeaways is it doesn't really matter because we've dropped a lot of games from spots that were imminently winnable. And this week, they got the win.
Yeah, I think the biggest change from the previous week, San Diego State, we all want to kind of forget that one, but it was the comeback mentality, right? You're down 2 scores, you didn't give up, you get yourself back into the game, you fight back, you score, and then it leads to probably one of the most incredible endings to a Cal game we've seen in a while.
Yeah, and I think one of the other really important things to note is if you want to find a reason to believe and think that they're building something here, think of how many times the Cal Bears have lost from those same situations. And it doesn't matter if it is sexy. It doesn't matter if it is fancy. It matters what your record says at the end of the day. And right now, the Cal Bears have the luxury of saying that they have only lost 1 game and none in conference.
Yeah. 1-0 in conference. We're going for the 2-0 tonight.
A thing that Justin Wilcox has never been, which is also incredible.
Yeah.
When I found out that statistic this week, I just blinked in horror, but I looked at some of the old Pac-12 rankings. You know, some of those games were against highly, highly rated teams, and it was DOA, but this week is an opportunity. I think one of the points for me is this is a game that would be really, really nice to win. I talked about getting greedy all week because a loss makes you 4-2 going into the bye. That's about where preseason predictions probably would have had you, maybe even a little bit more optimistic than most preseason predictions. But 5-1 with a imminently beatable North Carolina team. I'll whisper it into the ether, but bowl eligible on October 17th. Who knows?
Well, before we move on, let's spotlight some players from last week, right? So,
Yeah.
So who are some guys that, in your eyes, played out well last week, and we can hope to play well into this game tonight?
I think these two guys are going to be really key tonight when we start talking about Duke later. But Jacob DeJesus, really concerted effort to get him the ball in space, utilize him one-on-one in the slot, get him on some mismatches. That's going to be something that is really important tonight also with Duke. And, of course, Mason Minnie. His work out of structure when Jaron is scrambling to his left, we've seen him adjust for the ball. The connection is starting to emerge and also lessen the impact of losing your starting tight end. So those two guys will be crucial again tonight for some reasons we'll talk about when it comes to the Duke defense. But those two guys definitely stepped up, and they'll be needed again tonight.
So let's transition. Let's talk about the Duke offense and what we should expect to see on the field from the Blue Devils tonight.
So with Duke, you have one of the top scoring offenses in the country. They generate explosives, and they love to go fast. They are top 10 in the country for 10-plus yards plays, 20-plus yards plays, and I believe inside the 5th ranking for 30-plus yard plays. They will throw the ball around with quarterback Darian Mensah, one of the most expensive guys that they could get in the portal from Tulane. Ironically lost to Tulane, which I thought was very funny in the film review. But they will throw the ball around a lot. They have the ACC's top receiver in Cooper Barkate. He will work deep, middle, has a case of the dropsy sometimes, but they love to throw the ball a lot. And to the backs, they'll also throw the ball out to a bunch of receivers. But Cooper Barkate will probably be the one that everybody needs to know about tonight, and slot receiver Quayshawn Brown.
We'll talk about the passing game, but what about Nate Shepard? Because he won some accolades this week, right? I think it was Player of the Week as a freshman in the ACC.
Nate is incredible. Like, the numbers are starting to tick up. He's starting to take the job, it looks like. But I really like what we're seeing on film from him. Very impressive player. They're going to probably try to feed him the rock, but creates a lot of things. Duke's advanced statistics show that the offensive line doesn't actually produce a lot of yards themselves. A lot of the yards are coming from what we call highlight yards, and that's stuff that's generated by the backs by breaking open in space after the first 5 yards. And Shepard is definitely going to be one to watch. They throw the ball to the backs. He will be one to watch for sure.
So what is the Cal defense, who has struggled a little bit with the run defense, but has been extraordinary with their pass defense? Where do they need to adjust to break this Duke offense down?
I think, one, you're going to want to make sure that they get off schedule. Duke has a case of they can be penalty prone. They have 1/5 of their runs stuffed at the line. If you can get this Duke offense off schedule, which is one of the main keys, making sure that they don't get to set up tempo on first down is really, really essential. And the other thing is just going to be watching how our defensive backs, which will be the best group that Duke has played so far. Duke has racked up a lot of really impressive statistics. This is a strength-on-strength situation. Hezekiah Masses, Paco Austin, Cam Sidney will all be really important tonight. And one of the things that they started doing late in the Boston College game was moving Cam Sidney around and pulling up Jazea Wagner. So there are a bunch of defensive backs that will be targeted and will need to play well tonight. And helping them out and going to need a big game from Jaden Wayne as well in the pass rush.
I mean, it's certainly going to be a tall task.
Definitely not easy. When Justin Wilcox said, we got to figure out what our best ball looks like, that's what's going to be required tonight.
It's going to be a good test going into the bye week, where we don't play anyone, but UNC afterwards, Friday night right here, once again. So
yeah, it's really weird that we're here and then LaRussell's going to be here.
Yeah, LaRussell being here that Friday night, little concert here at, I believe, 5 o'clock for anyone who wants to come and watch.
Make sure you're back here at 5 o'clock, everybody.
Yeah.
October 17th.
Let's flip to the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
Duke's defense.
Duke's defense. All right, this is one where when you look at the statistics, the Cal Bears haven't performed that well in a lot of advanced metrics. But if you watch the film, there are some things that are a little bit gettable on the Duke side of the ball. They give up a lot of explosives. If you watch the Tulane game, if you watch the North Carolina State game, a game that also could have been a loss, they do not tackle very well in space. They can be gotten on misdirection. Couple of really good Duke players that you should be paying attention to. Cornerback number 0, Chandler Rivers, and also Vincent Anthony, number 7, one of the leaders in the country in sacks at this point. But it is a highly aggressive defense that wants to come downhill, will blitz, will leave you some space, and that's where those two guys we just talked about a few minutes ago come into play. Jacob DeJesus is our best run-after-catch threat. And North Carolina State showed some stuff with the tight end screen game, using Justin Jolie, a guy that we should know because we played him last year. But using Mason Minnie in some of those spots could yield some dividends. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Duke is a little bit vulnerable to explosives and in space, and those are going to be two guys that we're looking for that might make something happen tonight.
Do you foresee any explosive plays coming maybe from the run game as well tonight?
I would like to think so. I think that's something that's still in development. Good sign last week with Kendrick breaking out. If we can get any 10-play-plus drives, 10-minute-plus possession drives as we did against Boston College, that would be really big. And anytime you can break a tackle, let's make something happen.
Make a guy miss.
Make a guy miss.
Make a guy miss. I mean, we've talked about the offense. We've talked about the defense. What are some keys to the game that you foresee? And, going through the rundown here, we got a few points, but let's start off with the Cal secondary versus the Duke wideouts.
Yeah, that's just definitely going to be one of those things where your best is coming up on our best. You won't really know. The numbers look like what they look like, but this is one of those things where you don't play the game on paper. You play the game when you line up at 7:30, and we'll see what happens. I'm sure that the Cal staff feels really good about the matchups they have out wide, and I'm sure the Duke guys feel the same. It's just going to be one of those things that I think ends up deciding who's going to be the winner tonight.
On that, we'll go into a point on turnovers. Duke's last two wins, +7 in the turnover margin. Duke's losses, -5 in the turnover margin. Where do you see those turnovers maybe happening tonight?
Probably a pick. If anything, you got to prevent turnovers on the Cal side. Do not give this Duke offense more possessions. You really want to make sure that you knock them off schedule. And as soon as you can do that, you have a really good chance of forcing a punt and just hanging on to the ball.
Just going from the +7 to -5, those are two different teams looking at their wins and losses.
Yeah, you really, when you watch some of the Duke losses, and even the game that they won against North Carolina State, those turnovers came at incredibly harmful times. North Carolina had it kind of in control, and C.J. Bailey threw a pick basically 1 minute before halftime. Duke goes back the other way, scores, and the rest kind of implodes. Do not give this Duke team more possessions.
With that, so on offense, you said we got to talk about explosives.
Yeah.
Where are they going to come from?
Hopefully those two guys. Screen game. The running back screen game has been a struggle for the Cal Bears this year. I looked up the numbers, and it's producing literally negative value. But one look that I really like that the Cal Bears have shown before and might be good again in the future here is lining up Jacob DeJesus at the running back position. They've thrown it to him in the flat a couple of times. I wouldn't be surprised if they have some sort of screen game with him. And again, screen game with Mason Minnie. Just trying to put our guys in a place where we can make sure we have a chance to make somebody miss.
That's going to be part of the big game flow for tonight. But where do we see the game flow kind of heading if things go our way?
Hanging on to a lead for dear life, right?
Yeah.
Also, I want to call my shot tonight. I think, given the moment, I would not be surprised if Brian Harsin / Nick Rolovich pull a gadget out. I think they sense the moment. They sense the occasion. They want to set a tone. I would not be surprised if some sort of trickeration happens. I can't promise you that it'll be successful, but I do think they'll try.
We did have the fake punt already this season, right?
That's right.
And They did line up a couple times for the swinging gate, but they faked back. Like those are things.
Special teams trick plays. I'm thinking an offensive trick play this week.
Hey, drum one up for me.
Yeah,
drum one up. What do you think? What do
I think?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a big fan of a wide receiver pass, but most likely what they'll usually do is some sort of misdirection, reverse type thing, get the ball going that way. But I wouldn't hate a little wide receiver halfback pass action.
I'm thinking maybe like a hook and ladder. Throw it to Trond. Classic. He turns around. De Jesus comes swinging around him. Little flick to him.
We're gonna look like such geniuses if any of this happens, Rob.
I mean, it's a lot of football to talk about. I mean, we still got a couple hours before kickoff, so we're going through all this. We're expecting our guest at any moment here now, but it should be easy to spot him through.
You guys will want to be around for our guest.
Yeah, all this grass, but I mean,
Are we doing time wasters?
I didn't want to say we were doing time wasters, but we might as well use some of them.
All right.
I mean, just a year ago, this area right here was something special for most Cal fans. This was
real quickly, how many of you guys were here last year for game day?
There you go. We see some hands. We see some hands.
That's right.
We see some hands. We see some signs too. We see some signs. Yeah.
Rob, what do you remember the most about game day for you? Because if you guys don't know, Rob played a very special role at College game day, and I want you to be able to tell these people your story.
Well, for myself, I got to shoot some photos and videos. So I was behind the stage, which was set up right over there, and those were some really cool moments. Getting some behind-the-scenes footage.
Yeah, but you also, let's not forget, up until the last minute, right? You were not totally sure.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was getting my credential, and then I got an email. I think it was like midnight, I believe, is when I got that email. So. It was a roller coaster, much like everyone here. I mean, there was the fans, the student section was standing right here, and then the gates fell, and they all, rushed into the pit.
Yeah, that was also an insane thing that got aggregated by Fox News. Real story, true thing that happened. Some of us watched it from right up there at the East Asian Library.
Yeah, it was definitely an incredible. Oh, and here comes.
All right,
here
he
comes
comes.
Special guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Rivera. Pick it up.
Yeah.
You just realized that you needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job posts seen on other job sites. Indeed sponsored jobs help you stand out and hire fast. With sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates so you can reach the people that you want faster. And it makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed sponsored jobs, there's no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts, and you only pay for results. How fast is Indeed? Well, in the minute I've been talking to you, 23 hires were made on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/BWN. Just go to Indeed.com/BWN right now and support our show by saying that you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/BWN. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least that was the plan. Except now the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for this day.
All right, sorry about that. Sorry about being late. Actually, I wasn't late. I was right on time. I'm never late.
Testing.
A little closer? Okay, we're good.
I'm just listening up for you. You're
All
a
right.
taller guy than
All right.
there's a water for you right
Thank you. This water? Thank
there.
you.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a little small one, but
Coach, welcome to the show.
Well, it's good to be
Sorry,
here.
Rob, I shouldn't say that. It's not my show. Rob, that's your
No,
job.
you're a special co-host tonight, so you're equally important. Coach, how you feeling? How's your day gone so far with homecoming and?
It's been awesome. It really has. It's been jam-packed. We have some official visits right now as far as the high school recruiting. So we got a number of student athletes in town visiting that I was just sitting down talking with. So they keep me busy around here.
I mean, you're looking out.
Yeah.
Oski's Village.
Awesome.
all the people here.
Awesome.
What's your vision for this place as this place grows and it becomes a part of the Cal Game Day experience?
That you can't move. That once you got your spot, that's your spot until kickoff. So that's my vision. I really do. I would love to see a very healthy crowd out here. This is a good-sized crowd, but I think it can get a little healthier.
We need more
But
people.
I appreciate everybody that is here. That's for sure.
Like any of the signs that you see out there?
I love the signs. I really do.
Riverboat Ron is calling. Pick up the phone.
All right, Coach, we got to talk some ball, right?
Okay.
Since we're here. We talked to you on our podcast a few weeks ago, and I asked you about what you saw from Jaron and through fall camp. Where have you seen his growth from week one or week 0, like the first week of non-practice up until now?
Well, his game is what his game is. The young man is truly developed. He has a great sense and a great feel for the game. He's got a lot of natural ability. He's got great pocket presence. The thing what you're going to see is now as his game begins to refine, and I'm saying that as we're talking about a freshman.
Yeah.
But his game really there'll be the little details that he will sharpen, and he'll become an even better player for us. I think the one thing that I really do appreciate is how he has kind of stepped into a little bit more of a leadership role every week. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that you really want to see because his teammates respect him. They really do. And they will follow him. This young man's the kind of guy that got one of those personalities that people will get behind, and that's what we hope to see, and that's what we're working towards.
I mean, just to go a little bit more specific, from your view as a former head coach, like just purely X's and O's and from on the gridiron standpoint, where's his biggest improvement come? Like, is it coming off his reads? Is it throwing the 10-yard out? Like, has his arm strength gotten, more significant? Like, where do you see that?
Well, I think for him more than anything else is realizing he doesn't have to make the big play all the time. I really do. I mean, be patient, take what the defense is giving you, and he'll be even more explosive. I really do believe that because when you're patient and you throw those underneath passes that turn into 7, 8, 9, 10-yard gainers, and all of a sudden the defense gets impatient, they start sneaking up towards the line, and then all of a sudden you got a wide open deep throw. I think as he learns to understand, take what they're trying to give, and then I'll take my big shot, I think he'll be an even better player.
Now, Coach, coming from a defensive background yourself, how would you defend a quarterback like Jaron?
I think one of the things you want to do is explosive quarterbacks. Part of it is in your offensive game planning is to keep them off the field. So as a defensive-minded head coach, that'd be one of the first things I tell my coaches, especially on offense, is let's control the pace, let's control the tempo. Let's don't let him get comfortable, okay? I think you also got to be very physical with the other guys around him. You got to be very physical with the receivers. You got to be very physical with the tight ends and the running backs. You got to try and cut down their effectiveness because, again, he'll find the guy that he's got to get the ball to. But if you can limit that, you can control that, you can slow a quarterback down.
Oh, go ahead, Nam. You can follow up.
Oh, yeah. And also, coming from a defensive standpoint, how much input have you given, have you at all? Because we have 2 first-year play callers this year on defense.
I think it's more of a mentoring than it is anything else. They have a style of defense they've played for years here, and they've been very successful. And one thing that you can talk about success is you see every year 2, 3, 4 guys on the defensive side are getting drafted. And so when you have that kind of success, you're doing something right. Just stick to what you're doing, but refine it. Make it better each year. And that's what we've seen. And I think our biggest thing right now is we got to stay healthy. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Coach, last week, key player of the game, Luke Ferrelli, with that
linebacker.
Yeah,
that makes me happy. That thrills me. It really does. I love our linebackers too. I like Cade and I like Luke. I think those 2 guys are a very good tandem. I wish we could keep Cade for one more extra year because I think those 2 guys would dominate next season for sure because of their growth and experience. I really do mean that because you see the way they practice, you see how smart they are, You see how physical they are as football players, and I really do think they're just starting to scratch the surface of who they can be as a duo as far as linebackers are concerned.
I mean, Luke Farrelly, I think with his style of play and just his size too, where do you see his NFL comparison kind of becoming, like from a skill set standpoint?
Wow, from a skill set, he's a big size linebacker. He
Yeah.
really is, especially for a middle linebacker. He's right around 6'3.5", 6'4", right around 230, and he's still growing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's impressive. So I think his ceiling, I think, is a lot higher than people realize, because he is a redshirt freshman. He didn't play a lot last year and didn't get a chance to really develop. Now, practicing every day, getting a chance to play, most of the game, he is developing, he is growing, and each week you see something special out of him. I.e. what we saw in the Boston College game.
I guess with the Cal defense, and we'll stay on that point for a little bit. From your standpoint, where do the most improvements have to come as the defense kind of matures as the season progresses?
Well, I think the one thing is obviously figuring out the pass rush. With Ryan McCullough being hurt for the year, that's kind of slowed us down a little bit, and we've got to find somebody else to step up and help create a little bit more pressure on the quarterback. Don't let those guys get comfortable, get them off their spots, have them try to throw the ball while they're under duress a little bit more.
Is that also when you're looking for personnel who's gone down, do you then, as a play caller, you start trying to mix up your looks a little bit more? You might bring a guy more?
Yes, you do. That's one of the things that you've got to figure out. I'll give you a great example. Those folks that saw the 49ers game, if you really saw what Robert Saleh did with that defense, thinking about Joey Bosa being out, they were able to get sustainable pressure on the quarterback. They did some really good things, and this is what we've got to do is we've got to be creative. We've got to mix up the looks, and we've got to be able to attack from different positions.
Yeah, we talked a little bit earlier about how important it would be to make sure that Duke stays off schedule.
Yes.
Any sort of first down loss that you can create, whether that's simming it or blitzing an extra guy, I feel like that's very important tonight.
It is. You want to get them behind the chains. You don't want them to be second and 6 or less. You want it to be 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9. That puts you in position to really get after the quarterback.
Nam, you got any follow-ups?
No follow-ups to that, but if you want to go to our next question, I was just thinking big picture, not ball stuff.
Yeah, we talked enough about ball. We'll talk about your role as a GM and a little bit here. But if you could wave a magic wand, all right, and magically one of your wishes regarding the Cal football program could be granted, what would it be?
Oh, that everything's an equal playing field. That across the board, no matter who you're playing against, everything's equal. The finances are equal, because once the finances are equal, then you can go out and you can be competitive and you can compete. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do is be competitive. So we know that, that's part of what we have to do with this Rev Share program. So to make everything equal, with the support we're getting from our alums, from our donors, has been really outstanding. But really probably the most important thing, though, is the support we're getting from you guys, from the fan base. That's been really great. Why? Because we're seeing more and more people showing up. We're seeing more and more people engaging with us. And again, yeah, exactly. I mean,
Give it up for yourselves, guys.
This is special. You guys got to understand the impact that you're making for us. And I really do mean that. You guys got to understand that you being here is a very important thing for us. So when we talk about, being involved, making an investment, we're not just talking about money, but we're talking about presence. Mm-hmm. We're talking about showing up with friends and being that supportive people, because that really helps, again, as far as a player's attitude, a player's perspective on, man, this is great knowing that we got people behind us.
Now, Coach, in your time as GM so far, what's been the proudest accomplishment or change that you've been able to make, whether that's something that people know about or don't know about?
I think the biggest thing more than anything is really looking at what we're doing culturally. How we are engaging, how we're reaching out. We're trying to get people to understand this is about community. It's not just about football. This is about the athletic department. This is about the university itself, and this is about the community around the university that supports us. We're trying to draw everybody in together, and we're starting to see it. And again, this is a great example. Just starting to see how many folks are coming out or compared to week one.
Yeah.
So every time we get a chance, we got to grow this. We got to get more folks out here so they understand just how important they are to us.
I mean, I think, right, if I'm not mistaken, right back over there, the 1975 team is having their tailgate and their meetup right back there. What does it mean to have a team like that back?
It's pretty special. It's really cool because, I know several of those guys. I was actually at their dinner last night, spoke.
Yeah.
I had to head to another event, but it was really cool to get a chance to see a lot of those guys, because remember, this is a Pac-10 championship team, and they're celebrating their 50th anniversary, and several All-Americans played on that team. One of the guys that I met for the first time is my namesake, Steve Rivera, the wide receiver, who was an All-American.
I mean, there's some San Diego Charger ties too. I mean, I'm a San Diego Charger fan. You were DC for the team. Chuck Muncie was on that team too, who was robbed of a Heisman, in my opinion, for that one season.
Without a doubt. I mean, again, it's one of those things that's one of the things that we would love to create, and that is, when we talk about those things, that we are always in those conversations. We talk about awards, we talk about recognition, being relevant. That's a big part of what I'm trying to do is create that relevance. Raise our profile so that now, not only we're the number one academic institution, public institution in the world, but we're also, a top contending athletic program.
Coach, does that conversation about relevance, because some people were really surprised to find this out, but you are on the radio tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Is that also, like you're there to do a job, but you're also there to spread the gospel?
I am. I mean, I don't know if you know, but I did the post-game show on Channel 2 on Fox
actually, my uncle,
Thursday.
when I told him that I was doing this, he's like, Ron Rivera, I saw him on TV yesterday.
Yeah.
So his nephew is sitting here on the Glade talking to you right now.
Yeah, but that's the opportunity to get out there and spread the word. It really is. And so, again, that's what I was doing last year for the NFL. I was working for Sports USA. They cover the NFL, and we do the live coverage. I also work for the NFL Network.
Yeah.
I'll be starting that up in a couple of weeks as we start phasing into the end of our season, and the NFL's really start get going. They're going to start having me on. So again, it'll be a chance for me to rep the Golden Bears.
Absolutely, and we love to see it.
I mean, Coach, let's go back to last week a little bit too before we move on. First ACC trip away for you, across the country. What's that like for a college team versus, in the NFL?
It was interesting because, an NFL team, traveling, it's almost kind of, it was very casual. I mean, we really understood it was simple. Here, we're really structured. We got to fill every moment for these guys. Also knowing that we have some guys that have to do some of the academic stuff as well. So knowing that that's part of the schedule, that there's actually time put aside. We have some tutors that do travel with us to make sure those things are being taken care of. But also for me individually, the engagements, going out, meeting the alums, going to different events. I mean, Stephanie was out there with me, and she was part of this. We were engaging with donors. We were meeting a lot of different people that were associated with the university. We spent some time with the chancellor, and we actually went out a couple days early so that we could do these events prior to the team showing up.
I mean, so what was that like engaging with the East Coast base? Because, I was talking with Nam about this yesterday, but a lot of those folks, might not have had the chance to watch their Bears play, to come all the way to the West Coast, because our away games don't really fly out that far. But now it's easily accessible for a lot of them.
It is, and I tell you, it was crazy. We had an event on their campus. It's called Lions Hall. We renamed it Rich Lions Hall, and the chancellor showed up. And Coach Tedford was there as well. So we got to spend some time with Coach there. But the great part about it was we were only supposed to have 450 people show up, and we had almost 500 show up. Oh. So we were very well supported. And I don't know if you saw it, but that last drive, that last touchdown Jaron threw was right in front of where they put our fan base. And the chancellor was in the middle of that group of folks leading cheers. It was pretty cool.
I mean, that's what some of the Nam was there in attendance as well. They talked about how loud that fan base was and how well we traveled. Have you been shocked, or has it reached your standard of fans traveling and being in attendance in these away games?
Not really, just because, again, when Stephanie and I, we've been on the East Coast for so long, we would run into Bear backers everywhere. Yeah. You constantly, doesn't matter where you are, wherever you go, you wear something that says Cal, somebody's going to say Go Bears. And that's the truth. And that's really the brand. I mean, the brand is not just national, it's worldwide. I mean, we've been in Europe. We've been in Hawaii. We've been all over. We were in Hong Kong. Wore something that said Cal, and somebody said, "Hey, Go Bears!" And that's just who we are. Everybody knows what that means.
I mean, you did drop a line this week in your your press conference, about you're not worried at all. This is the University of California, and
exactly.
That kind of speaks for itself, right?
No, and that's really how I feel. I mean, this, we're not talking about, just a casual place. We're talking about some place that's special, and that has a special place in this world. People know and recognize who we are. I mean, you don't have 59 Nobel laureates and people don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what we want them to also know is that not only do we have 59, Nobel laureates, but we also have a pretty good football team. That's the plan.
I mean, you want to talk to the fans about the sticker that'll be on the helmets tonight with the 59 Nobel laureate sticker and how that came about?
Well, it was one of those things that we had a conversation. One of the things that I wanted to do was, we were going to do the faculty honors that we had for the Minnesota game. We had talked about doing it for the Texas Southern. And I didn't think that was appropriate because it wasn't going to be where all the students were there, potentially en masse. So I said, let's move it to the Minnesota game. And we were talking about ways to recognize our faculty. And Andrew McGraw, our chief of staff, came up with the idea and said, it would be really cool if we put the Nobel laureate on the back of the helmet. And so we reached out to the Nobel people and asked if that'd be appropriate, and they said that'd be fine. So we put on the back of it, it's the Nobel laureate insignia. It's got 59 and counting.
That says it all.
It does. It really does.
And it gets you a parking spot.
Yeah.
Nam, you got a question about expectations maybe a little bit too?
Yeah, I mean, I think for a lot of Cal fans, the mystique of like the Rose Bowl chase is now more difficult to achieve.
Still achievable. You're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah, I suppose so. And my question for you, and I think it would be really good for a lot of people to hear, like the ultimate goals. Like, should we reorient ourselves? Are we only Rose Bowl focused? What is the ultimate vision? Well,
the ultimate vision, obviously, is to win an NCAA championship. That's the ultimate vision. I mean, that's the truth. I'm not going to sit there and tell you that being 6-6 is acceptable. What I'm going to tell you is winning is acceptable, and that's what we intend to do. The first thing you have to do is you have to win your conference. If you win your conference, then you're in the tournament. Okay, that's the goal, is to win the ACC, which gets us in the tournament, and then we'll see what happens after that. That's all I can ask for, and that's all I can expect. But do I strive for it? Absolutely. I strive for perfection. I know I'll never catch it, but I strive for it.
It's the process.
Right? Exactly. You want to take one step at a time, play them one game at a time, see what happens, but also understand you control it if you do it the right way.
I have a hot take that I want to share with you. I don't want to get your opinion on this, but I feel like the ACC has been a net positive.
Yes.
Like in comparison, where if you're playing a lot of those still traditional Pac-12 opponents, we have a lot more exposure. You talk about getting out there and spreading the word. We're in a lot more untraditional markets because of the ACC.
Yes. Well, and not just that, but like you said, playing out there on the East Coast, you're going to be playing on their prime time. Right now, playing these games at 7:30. Okay, what that basically does, that puts us, their bedtime. Most of those folks are going to sleep. That's all, that's how they are. I mean, they're passed out, they're drunk, they've had a little too much already, and we don't get them in our games. But being able to catch them at their prime time when we're there, that's outstanding. Why? Because it is creating the exposure. The only thing that I'm worried about is every time Jaron has a good game, Pat McAfee won't be quiet. He keeps talking about it, and everybody else knows,
the price
too.
of the bag is going up.
Yes, it is. The bag is getting bigger.
I mean, we talked about a little bit of the fan experience, right? And and you see the fans out here.
Yep.
What is your charge to these guys? These guys?
Give them your orders,
here?
General Rivera.
Yes. Well, what are your orders to the troops?
Well, it's basically been the same in understanding the three metrics that we're going to be charged with. Again, we want to make sure we get butts in the seats. If you're coming, bring a friend. I mean, you guys just understand how important it is that they know you guys are there. And the other part is, if you can't get to the game, make sure you watch us on television. And like I've said before, if you're coming to the game, leave your TVs on, please, on the right channel too.
I mean, that's pretty much it. How many of you guys left your TVs on for this game? Oh, actually, there are a couple.
Yeah.
There are a couple.
They listen. My wife did. She left it on. She knows. She knows better.
We thank you for raising your electricity bill in support of the Cal Bears.
Look, if anything, with streaming now, you could have the game on your phone while you're inside Memorial Stadium still watching the game. So
you can, and that's the great thing about what's going on today, and that's why it's so important to have eyeballs on the sets, is that there are so many ways to help generate the funds and the resources that we can build up, that we can, share. Because, a big part of the mission we have here is not just to win football games, and it's not just about football, as I said, but, we have 29 Olympic sports. And understand that in those Olympic sports, we're a feeder program for the USA team.
Mm-hmm.
And quite honestly, we also feeder program for some of those international teams because of our international student body. But that's why, because, when you have guys that are out there competing in swimming and in crew and in beach volleyball and basketball and golf, whatever they're competing in, we have to support. And that's why us being successful is important, because as we bring in the revenue, we can share more and we can spread it to all the other sports. And again, that's part of the mission that we have. Again, not about football. It's not about the athletic department. It's about the university.
I mean, Nam and I were talking before you got here. Just literally a year ago, this is where we had College Game Day, right?
I was here.
Yeah, this was the area. What does that mean for the Cal fan base, and how do we recreate and recapture that type of energy and experience?
Well, I mean, part of it, first of all, is just understanding the support. Being there is really, truly important. It really is. And what happens is, as the crowds get bigger, the guys get more enthused, the guys feed off the energy. I don't care what anybody says. I know there's analytics and statistics, and a lot of those people say there's no such thing as momentum. I disagree. There is momentum. And if we can capture that every week, have this kind of spirit every week, it means something. It does. It really, truly does. It doesn't matter what sport you go support. Just showing up, being there, means something to the student athletes.
Well, I mean, that's all I had.
That's
planned.
all we had for you.
That's all we had planned. That's all we had planned for you.
Well, we wanted to respect your time. You're
a busy man. What else do you have on the schedule for the rest of the day?
I have to go up to Maxwell for the alumni event. I'm speaking there as well.
Yeah.
So, they do keep me busy. But anyways, I thought this was important, and I appreciate the support you guys have given us. Hey, how about something for Cal? What the hell are you guys called again? Calgorithm. A little something for Calgorithm. Let's go.
Well, Coach, we had a couple presents for you and Stephanie. Memorial Legends.
All right.
One of which is being honored today, I believe, number 51 on this shirt.
Oh yeah,
right here.
Alex Mack got into the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah. There's one for you and your wife.
I appreciate that. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah.
But again, appreciate you guys. Understand just how important you guys are to what we're trying to do and success that this university can have. Please continue to be out there, support your student athletes, support this university, and as always, go Bears!
Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Rivera. So that happened.
Yeah. Still right there. He's walking right across the stage. He's doing the politician walk, as
he's kissing babies right now, All right, Rob, with the time that we have left, we can spend it however you want to. We could literally call for backup. We got our we can call up the two deep right now.
We got plenty of backup over there.
You want to bring some friends up to the stage?
Do we have any of our writing staff that wants to come up and talk?
Yeah, if any of the Right for California writing staff wants to come up right now, and it looks like Nick Krantz, longtime mainstay, editor-in-chief of Right for California. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Krantz, everybody.
Take a seat. There you go.
I was not told I was going to do this, but I'm happy to do so.
You know what? We are just here, like the sign says, so we won't get fined.
Well, we're just background music to Ron signing autographs and shaking hands and taking pictures. So
it's your chance to meet the man and the legend.
Which he is both.
Yeah,
he is both. But Nick, we brought you up here. We have to talk about Cal football for a little bit, right? With you up here.
That's what we're here for today.
Yeah. Talk to me about your maybe some predictions and some going forward.
Yeah, everybody I heard from me. It's your turn now.
For this Duke game tonight.
I think this is one of those games that really comes down to quarterback play, which is hardly super original because that's like the most important position on the field. Yeah. But two teams that pass the ball more than they run it, two teams that want to get it down the field. Duke is willing to go deep. Cal is willing to go deep. It's the type of game that can absolutely swing on who hits a deep ball, who picks off a deep ball. Those are going to be the swing plays in my mind. So is Mastis going to steal one? Is JKS going to hit somebody downfield? Are we going to make Darian Mensah miserable? I'm crossing my fingers, hoping it's a yes.
Well, it's about to happen. We got about an hour and a half till kick now, and it feels like it's about that time to wrap up here.
Yeah.
Like, we had Nick come in, give his final thoughts on the game, and I think we're good. But
I think we're good.
This has been a live recording of the California Golden Bearcast. You can find us on all podcasting platforms. You can find Nam on Twitter at a guy named Nam. You can find Nick on the website, Right for California. He is our Monday columnist. So you can find all this stuff over there. You can find me on Twitter, Rob11HWANG, or Right for California as well, as part of being the co-host of the Golden Bearcast. And that's it, folks. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being a audience member for us. And let's get a Go Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Go Bears!
There we go. All right. Thank you, folks.